Nigerian heroes. Nigerian heroes standing strong.
Of Aviation under the President Goodluck Jonathan administration. Prior to his government appointment, he was the Corps Marshal of Nigerian Road Safety Corps. Under his leadership, he endeavored to transform the institution into one that was driven by new and effective information technologies. He has been recognized and conferred with several merit awards over the years as a result of his enormous contributions to his indigenous community and nation and the nation at large, top of which is the recognition he received for his patriotic disposition to his fatherland by the former president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, conferring him with Nigeria's National Honor of Officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, OFR. He has written many articles and research work. The areas of public policy and safety management. He writes a regular column, Bridge Builder, for the leadership newspapers, where he outlines pragmatic ideas for good governance. Mr. Osita, thank you so much. You're welcome to the platform.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for coming through physically to the platform. And great sacrifice to yourself. Thank you so much for this. All right, so we'll get straight to the questions we want to ask you. As an examiner scoring the Nigerian nation on its performance at 60 years, relative to her potential, what score will you assign to Nigeria and why? And what are the top 3 issues that have prevented Nigeria from scoring high?
Being that I'm not a lecturer, I find it difficult to score people, but I will attempt at by saying that there is a very wide gap between promise and performance. A very wide gap of the Nigerian state, the promise it represented on 1st October 1960 and the performance on 1st October 2020. I will tell this by a little story. Last 2 weeks I was in the village and we had a family problem. What was the problem? One of our sub-families, we have chairmen of the various sub-families, and my community is urbanizing very rapidly. So land has become a very scarce commodity and also very profitable commodity. Now this young man was elected chairman of one of the sub-families. The young man became chairman. The constitution says you will do only 1 term and you hand over after 3 years. On the last year, he gathered a few elders together and amended the constitution that says he will now do, that you can now do 2 terms. And he went ahead and conducted an election that declared him winner despite the protest of other members of the family. And when we came to discuss the matter, it was interesting to me that many of the elders in the family didn't see anything wrong with amending the rules of the game and him benefiting from it. And that for me is the challenge of Nigeria, that our corruption, our inability to govern our state has cascaded down to what Peter Eke used to call the 2 publics, that Nigerians will allow you steal Nigeria's money, but they will not allow you steal the village money because they feel that they own that. But even that village money, because there's a resource, land, that they sell and take commissions, the family members are willing to amend the constitution, conduct an election, and elect this young man back as the chairman. And I told them it wouldn't happen. But I found it interesting that nobody thought something was wrong with the sitting chairman amending the constitution and becoming the chairman at the same time. Now, that for me is the story of Nigeria. What has happened to Nigeria is that at independence, we had a country that was divided. Nobody should come to me with the story of our founding fathers. Our founding fathers set up a Nigeria that was divided. By 1962, they conducted the first census. We couldn't publish the result of that census because people accused the census of being overbloated. We repeated it in 1963. It led to a Supreme Court case by the Eastern government of Nigeria. And all of this crisis led us to 64, elections of 64, the 65 national crisis, Operation Wait here in the West, and then eventually the 1966 coup. And then we went on to a civil war. But interestingly, after the Civil War, the military, being a national institution, attempted something. They attempted nation building. They set up the National Youth Service Corps, the federal government colleges, institutions to promote national unity and national cohesion. They also brought in the idea of federal character principle, which found its way in our 1979 Constitution. But I will tell you that 50 years after the war, down the line, those institutions are comatose. The National Youth Service Corps is no more an ideal situation. It's not in an ideal state. The federal government colleges have broken down. What is the reason? The reason is that there is a multi-ethnic coalition, elite coalition, that have run down Nigeria. Mark my word, it's multi-ethnic. When Nigerians use ethnicity, they use it for the purpose of acquiring power. Once they acquire power, they form a national coalition, all of us, myself inclusive. And what is an example of this coalition? Our children are not in public schools. We do not go to public hospitals. We have private generators and private boreholes. We use Nigerian police as our personal guards against all the other members of society. So this Nigerian coalition has been incompetent at running a nation state. That incompetence is what has manifested. Let nobody deceive you. If we break Nigeria into the different parts of Nigeria, what will happen is that this coalition will go back to their sub-regions and continue their state capture project. I'll give another example. When I was in ExxonMobil, every government official that I approach for something for ExxonMobil will ask me, I have a daughter, I have a son who is in the US, I would like him to work for ExxonMobil. And I used to remind them that ExxonMobil has a process. You have to go through the interviews and it's an open process. When I became Corps Marshal, the Nigerian elite approached me again for jobs. But this time, they were not approaching me for their children, they were approaching me for their constituents. At Federal Road Safety, which they consider a menial job, they wanted it for their constituents. So I have my constituents, please, how many will you allocate to me? So you find out that if you go to NMPC, National Communications Commission, all the top parastatals of government, it is the children of Nigeria's elite, the children of the current public servants, the children of permanent secretaries, the children of judges that occupy these institutions. The Nigerian masses has been duped for the past 60 years. And it is important that we put this in context because for me, after many years in government, after being a Corps Marshal, serving ministers as assistant, and becoming the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am convinced that this pan-Nigerian coalition has these defining ingredients. We do not mean well for Nigerians. We mean well for our individual pockets. Now, the challenge is that the Nigerian public, the Nigerian young people, who should fight against this capture of the state power, have turned around to support this, hiding under ethnicity, religion, or money. So, I don't think we're in a difficult situation, in a chicken and egg situation. I don't know whether we will get the Nigerians to, first of all, wake up and force Nigerian elites to work, or the Nigerian elites will have the gumption, the moral suasion, which I think is coming. We now suffer from 3 existential crises in Nigeria. Insecurity, led by Boko Haram. We've been at war for 11 years. It has consumed our national resources and people. Oil is going out of fashion. Our critical source of revenue, which is oil, is becoming something that over the next few years will no more bring in the kind of wealth we've seen in the past. And thirdly, the tension in Nigeria has increased dramatically, that you have the secessionist tendencies in the southeast, the Oodua Republic now in the southwest, Boko Haram in the northeast, bandits in the northwest, the north central farmer header crisis, that there is now an impetus for a new leadership to emerge. Now, why do I propose a new leadership? Because I believe that all over the world, multi-ethnic countries have suffered a setback. Yugoslavia has broken, Czech Republic has broken, Eritrea has broken out of Ethiopia, Southern Sudan has broken, but it doesn't quite solve the problem of the individuals in those countries. So we should be looking at countries like Switzerland and the United Kingdom, where multi-ethnic groups have come together, formed a national charter of existence, including the right to exit that union has been formed in the UK, and so far, no part of the UK has been able to exit because everybody feels that there is something for everybody in that pot. So I believe that the Nigeria of the next 60 years, if Nigeria is to survive the next 60 years, we have to take a difficult decision in 2020 to determine how to build a nation where no man is oppressed. to build a country that gives its citizens a prime of place in its planning. And I think that Nigeria at 60 offers us an opportunity for that introspection.
All right, you have you have answered a lot of questions in that. So let me ask you this. You are quoted in Vanguard of November 9th, 2017, as saying the unity of Nigeria is negotiable and was indeed negotiated by founding fathers such as Sir Ahmadu Bello, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo. So if you're saying renegotiated it, what might a renegotiated Nigeria look like? What are the key things which, when renegotiated, will be advantageous for all current federal units?
So, Nigeria unity is negotiable. I repeat it again. It is negotiable. It is the struggle of the military that uses words like Nigeria's unity is not negotiable. Nobody should bring that in the Nigerian context. Because what that does is that it removes the incentive for people to act rationally and to give and take. Once people have the feeling, like in a joint stock company, that somebody will exit the company, that a faction of the COO can go, people can go, it tends to bring us to the table to continuously negotiate. So the fact that we are removing Nigeria's unity as non-negotiable is the main reason why certain people in Nigeria behave as if Nigeria is a British convenience store. So my take is that once we bring out the issue of negotiation, what it will do for us is, like I said, we can adopt the UK model. We can adopt the Swiss model of allowing our states, our constituent parts, to have more powers to themselves, to have a union that makes it possible for us to have economic prosperity. You cannot develop a nation without merit, for instance. We took a decision in the 1970s as part of nation building and said, let us have an affirmative action. There will be educationally disadvantaged states. These states are going to be given an affirmative action in admissions to make it possible for them to catch up with the rest of Nigeria. It was supposed to be an affirmative action. It was a shield, not a sword. Now we have turned it into a sword. That the educationally disadvantaged state has become a permanent feature of Nigeria. That states in Nigeria boldly and happily announce themselves to be educationally disadvantaged states. The northwestern region of Nigeria has collected more resources. If you combine their local and state government accounts, they've collected more resources than the southeast and the southwest combined, or maybe the southeast and the north central combined. Yet, the governors of those states are not proud enough to say, I want to exit this educational disadvantaged state status. So, I want to propose that for Nigeria to go forward, we must put a sunset clause on all our affirmative actions. The idea of rotation of power is supposed to be an idea to give every Nigerian sense of belonging. It is not a destination. We need to do it to make it possible for all parts of Nigeria to feel that they have a stake in the Nigerian project. But it should be with a sunset clause. After we've done it for the first 30 years of the 6 zones, we should be able to allow the best Nigerians to emerge in their from their political parties. And that is supported by the fact that we have clean elections. Now, what INEC did in Edo State when they published results from the polling units just online for people to see is a step in the right direction. And what happened in the Big Brother house, where we see Nigerian young people voting massively on Big Brother for a fee. They voted for a fee. They paid 30 naira each time they voted. And they cast all that vote because
900 million
votes. Because they are reacting to the incentive that their vote matters. They are reacting to the incentive that this is what matters to them. How come it doesn't matter to them about their local government chairman who has resources from the federation for them? How come it doesn't matter to them about their state government? Because they feel that the system has been rigged. And I think that system has been rigged by a multi-ethnic coalition. That coalition is in the judiciary. Nobody should lie to us today in Nigeria. We should know that judgments are bought in Nigeria today. Nobody should lie that we don't know that federal government jobs are sold, that for 1 million naira you will get a job in any of the juicy parastatals. Nobody will lie to us that elections are bought and sold. So we know that what has happened is that a chicken and egg situation again has emerged. People go into government, steal enough resources, use it to buy votes, and continue the cycle of returning the money they have taken. So what we have done, and I am a witness because I believe I'm a sufficient bridge between the old Nigeria and the new Nigeria struggling to emerge. I became Corps Marshal at the age of 35. And when I was doing my youth service, just to prove the point that the young people should be engaged, I decided on my own to say, what can I do to get a job in the federal establishment? They said if you win the NYSC award, you get automatic employment. So I focused on the NYSC award. I did programs that the National Orientation Agency partnered with me, and of course I was nominated for the award. But guess who nominated me for the award? The person that nominated me for NYSC award is a man who was Special Assistant and Director to the Secretary to Government of the Federation, where I sat. His name is Dr. Babangida Aliyu, who later became the governor of Niger State. How did it happen? I walked into his office and said, my name is Osita Chidoka. I'm a youth corps member here. I would like to volunteer to help with writing speeches for the SGF. And he was like, how the hell does a young man, a youth corps member, want to do this? And that friendship had lasted till today. So do not sit back in your home and expecting that somebody will come and bring you into the national limelight. You have to struggle for it. I have never been discriminated against in Nigeria because I have refused to be discriminated against. I decided that Babangida Aliyu was my role model. All I hoped for in my life was to end up a federal permanent secretary because I thought Babangida Aliyu, who went to Penn State University, has a PhD, and I thought that was a route for me. And the reason why I'm stating this is that any attempt, all my time from Federal Road Safety to the Minister of Aviation and before then, I have refused for anybody to discriminate against me. I have taken my fair share of Nigerian state by sitting on the table and insisting that I'm an equal stakeholder in Nigeria. President Obasanjo can bear me witness that as a 35-year-old, I was his advisor, I was his consultant, because I have refused to allow myself to be discriminated. No Nigerian should allow himself to be discriminated in Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us, and I think that Nigeria at 60 represents an opportunity. All those people born in 1960 who entered the public service are retiring this year. A generation of Nigerians, those born in 1960, this is their 60th birthday. All the people that are 60 at the Federal Road Safety Corps are retiring this year, people I met there. And what does that mean for us? It means that our independence children have failed Nigeria. The Nigeria they are handing over to us is a Nigeria where there is no public water, where there is no public school, there are no public schools, our public health system has collapsed. The result of Nigeria from that generation is failure. What then amounts for people like me who were born post-Civil War, who were born in 1970s? What are we going to offer Nigeria? Are we going to spend our time voting for Big Brother, or are we going to turn those votes into changing the narrative of Nigeria and allowing the concept of Niger, where we have Davido, where we have Fino, where we have the Nollywood stars, where Nigerians are united in our music, where Nigerians are united in our culture, in our shebi that has become a national uniform, in our discussions that Igbo words have come into national lexicon from our home videos. That Niger, that private sector Nigeria is moving on its own. Lagos is moving on its own. It's not waiting for Abuja. It's not waiting for Nigeria. It is that Niger that we need to give vent to. So those of us that are young, those votes that we cast on Big Brother, that 30 naira we used to vote, if we put it together behind candidates that are strong, that are positive, that are united in the vision of a new Nigeria, a nation where no man is oppressed, a nation with equal stakeholders, a nation where we reject discrimination. That Nigeria is possible if our young people can come together and make the kind of votes they did for Big Brother Nigeria.
Let's put our hands together for Mr. Osita Chidoka. I want to say thank you very much. You've answered everything we have for you. Thank you very much for this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very much.
We'll go on a 3-minute break quickly, and then we will be back for the next session. 3 minutes break.